tonight's vlog, is going to be on dating and lessons I've learned. To start out with, when it's going to be a little long. This is like the third time I've tried to shave stuff out, and I don't really want to do a two-parter. So I need to point out to start with that I've been a serial long-term relationship person my whole life, and I was never really single until a little under 2 years ago. I've always had somebody in my life. So dating, period, for me was like this new experience. Socializing, period, was like this new experience. I always hid behind my partners. And so a lot of what I'm going through is just dealing with those huge changes, regardless of my gender stuff. So, but at the same time, there are some things that I think are peculiar to being a TS and dating. Yeah, I think that I can at least share my experiences, and hopefully, you throw this out there. Yeah, I'm doing it for me to purge it, but also, maybe it'll trigger something in somebody's mind that'll help them along the way. So to start out with, when my third marriage ended 2 years ago, the first thing I did was what I had done after the second marriage, and it was run to online dating, because it's what I knew. I could hide behind the computer. I didn't have to risk much. It was nice. It was safe. Weed through all kinds of people. Something's got to work out. So, but of course it was different this time. After the second marriage, I only said that I was bi-gendered and let people question and get answers. I hadn't had the name change. I wasn't on hormones. So I could get away with it, so to speak. Plus, I wasn't sure where I was at that point. It was like 2002. And so I went out to the lesbian sites, and I put myself out there, and the first thing you're confronted with is, do I put in my ad piece that I'm a male to female, preoperative, transsexual, and me being the honest to a flaw person that I am. Of course, I did at first, and it became quickly apparent that that was not a smart thing to do. I mean, let's face it, if I really would have thought about it, you've got other people out there, especially in the lesbian community, they're not looking for a date, they're looking for the one, and everybody's got their shopping list of what they're looking for. And, lesbians and straight guys, they're looking for pussy. I mean, who knew? But, you learn these things. So you put that out there, and absolutely nobody's even going to look any further. Cruel, harsh reality. And so I took it off my ads and just put out there your normal dating information. What do you like? What are you into? Blah, blah, blah. What are you looking for? And then you've got the next dilemma of, well, when do I fess up? And you really can't even go past that first email unless the first email is like totally, one of these stupid sentence things. You really can't go without divulging, because already they're going to feel that you withheld something on your ad. If you do, if you don't, and if you go one or two emails without disclosing it, yeah, you've kind of kept a pretty important fact out of sight too long. If you just don't put it on your ad, I found most gals were completely understanding and polite. If you just say, look, I don't think it's everybody's business, but I wanted to let you know, seeing as you're going to express an interest, this is an aspect of my personality. Needless to say, though I was on multiple lesbian date sites, not successful at all. I got a few that went more than 2 or 3 emails, and every single one of them turned out to be guys. And I don't mean transsexuals or cross-dressers. I mean guys that were getting their rocks off emailing a lesbian. Yeah, served them right for running into me. Anyway, so okay, that wasn't going to work. But it got it through my head. What am I looking for a serious relationship for? This was and still is one of my issues I'm trying to work through. Period. Outside of gender, in that I've always looked for somebody to care about me so that I can care about myself. I can't seem to do it for myself, but if somebody else cares about me, well, then I can care about me. Bad flaw, and it's not good for a relationship, and it's been poison in the relationships I've been in, and it needs to go away. And I'm making progress, but I'm not sure it's gone, and maybe I'll have time to squeeze in a little something more on that. Anyway, so I got it through my head. Quit looking for a serious relationship. You always whine that you never had your freedom and you never dated. Here you are. Yeah, 40 at the time, 46 years old is not exactly the time to be a wild, crazy single. But what the hell? You don't. Every year that goes by, the less opportunity there'll be. So I joined an adult site, and yeah, that sucked. You've got to list yourself according to your gender, male, female, or TVTG, TSCD. And it's like, oh, yeah, that's me. So, nobody who, you put yourself down as woman and they go irate. You put yourself down as, this big umbrella, and you're screwed. You don't get any interest from anybody who has a clue what you're like. Of course, this is an adult dating site, so it's not like it's a depth thing anyway. I went on a few dates, and all of them were very creepy and not right. And both the guys and the most of the bi women that I dated could not get it through their head that I did not want to function like a male, and it was in almost every case very awkward and aggravating. It's like practice your resurrection on some other dead person and not my shit. Anyway, but I did manage to meet one gal that's still a very good friend. So it wasn't a complete failure, but for the money and for the self-esteem hits, pretty much a total waste of time. So that finally got it through my head that I had to get out from behind the computer and actually get out in the real world. Hang on, check my notes, I'm going to forget something.